You ready?
My name is Mounowah, and I'm doing a development coaching practice uh, of judo coaching. I will do a reflection about my uh, studying here at university. Uh, so first I will talk about my first year, what I have learned, what skill I have developed. Uh, so skill developed, the coaching leadership I will talk about, and I will talk about the coach relationship. So the skill developed. So so I have got my skill as a coach, and with my study, so I have been more structured about how to develop my approach to teach my student, and I try just to put in practice all the ingredients I've got from the university, and then I try to apply it on the student. So my coach behavior before, I was a little bit autocratic, so like a Japanese way, like a little bit Japanese way. So I have learned during this module there is a autocratic, democratic, and then you've got autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire. So when I have learned it now during the year, I try to adapt this kind of all the ingredient in to coach my players, and I have moved from autocratic, little bit like a dictator, and I try to just have a feedback from my student, how they feel, and then I can have more how can I explain it? More thinking how I can make them progress in that way. So I will talk about the model, about the coaching process. So the multi-dimensional model of practice: coach behavior, record coach behavior, athlete preferred coach behavior, and actual coaching. So was seated by Chalundra in 1984. So maybe that structure is to relate how a coach should be, how a coach should work with an athlete. Sometimes we've got different individuals, so what we can work with, and a transformational coaching model. So in a sports context, so we try to just get the performance, so from the athlete. So Kalau explained it well. So it's a positive result that we need, and then with a qualitative work. So meta-analysis I explained before was autocratic, democratic, and the training instruction, and then support, and then the feedback is really important when we do to give them a feedback if it is positive and negative. So, and then the coach leadership, where it is really interesting to see the 4 C's of the character, the competence, the confidence, and then the last one is a connection. The connection is, so all the C's is really good, because we can, a connection about the players. The coach should have a character when he teach the players, and I think it's a good coach leadership by Cote and Gilbert that they find out. And there is also, for our job, is a toxic triangle about the coaching. Sometimes as a coach we can't, sometimes we give negative feedback, and sometimes it's really not good for the players, and it's not even good for us as a coach as well. So there is the leaders, destructive leaders, and then we've got the environment sometimes, and then we've got the susceptible followers. So disruptive leaders is a product of dysfunctional leads that interacting that are connected in a negative income way, and Padilla explained that. So as a coach, we should always give a positive feedback to the players or participants, so they can have a good satisfaction, they can improve more in their for their progression. So as a case study, I have done with a players at the school. So he was a former national medalist in the school, so he got national medal. So and then he changed categories, and then he got competition. He was scoring, and then he can't cope in the competition. So with the study that I have studied at the University of Sheffield Hallam, so I have observed my players, and then I have to find the problem, what was the problem, and then I will try to fix the problem, what was the problem. So, and then we have done evaluation was observation, building his confidence, and then I have to try to do like a spider form, a spider with a profiling performance, a circle, and then you try to write from the scale of 1 to 10. So we've done that for his observation and the intervention technique. So my players, he got when he got in the contest, he can't express himself. So he scored, but at the end he made a little mistake. So psychologically, it was not right at all. So we have the issue, and in the training, so at each end of the session, so I have tried to work on imagery, so visualization. So when the training finish, he go on the floor, there is a silence, total silence, was quiet, and then I talk to him about his technique. He visualize, eyes closed, and then he visualizes the technique, how he can do a perfect technique when he's in competition. So we have worked on that. So the brain is working, so his brain is working, and then when he goes to competition, he will be ready to do his favorite technique. So, and then we have work as well during competition. We have tried to work a self-talk. So as majority of sports, you can see in athletics, people before they go in starting block, they talk. So in judo as well. So we have planned this, and then before a competition, I said to him, talk to himself. I can win this fight. I can do this technique. I'm good. So it's always a positive. I will give him a positive feedback if he talk by himself, and then I think the performance will be there. So, and then to justify my research, I have the catastrophe model about cognitive anxiety and the physical arousal, and then the performance. I have done the research about that in psychology to justify my my research about the state. So, and then the goal theory with Nichols in 1984 as well. So I have tried to do the goal achievement. We've done a task and ego questionnaire, and then you see if it is high or low perceivability, and then they all come together. The all achievement behavior, if it is performance or resilience, it will all come together. So and then for this year, I have for conclusion, so the research and what we've learned at school, at the university, and I think it has worked for me, because with this outcome of my studies, so my players has not been winning. We put this practice in place, the self-talk, and then the visualization, the imagery, and then my boy has got a medal. So the outcomes was the satisfaction of the player, as we said before, and the performance about medal. I would like to thank you very much for my presentation. It was good, Doctor.
Sounded good.